Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Friday. Who can resist saying Friday? As lame as it is, but it just makes sense. Friday is just, it has to be one of the most coveted days of the week, especially if you're working in a traditional setting. I know it sure was for me. And then knowing that you got all day Saturday, if you're lucky anyway, to relax or have fun, it's the best. All right, so happy Friday to you. It is January 26th. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump right in and get started. Okay, Four of Wands, that's home life. 1111 also could be the projection of a very harmonious partnership or establishment, whether it be in a domestic sense or professional or creative sense. Maybe both. Maybe working from home, maybe building a business, or I did just say, like, Friday is one of the most coveted days. So maybe this is you. Even if you work from home or, you have a certain disciplined schedule in the sense where you've structured your hours to fit into the traditional work week, and maybe your weekends are footloose and fancy free. Definitely some celebration going on here with the Four of Wands. It's harmonious partnership, balanced, stable, secure. What else can we say? It definitely speaks to a home in a physical sense, but it could also be the home in the expression of comfort and security and stability. I think I'm gonna take this one out because the Four of Wands is like, it's a low, it's low in the suits because it's only a four, but it's pretty potent, packs a big punch because it could be so many different things. It could be two people that have found synergy with one another after some great trial and tribulation individually, and then coming together collectively on one accord, as it is an inflection of a twin flame union, if you subscribe to that term, or some type of sacred partnership to some degree, or maybe even just like a soulmate connection. And again, that doesn't have to be intimate. You could have friends that feel like soulmates or are soulmates. You could have family members that are soulmates. But of course, you can absolutely have an intimate partner that's a soulmate. This card also can speak to same-sex relationships as well. Maybe somebody's getting married that, otherwise didn't think that they would, or it's in a very unconventional way that a union is coming together. Again, that would be overcoming some great feat, trial, tribulation, where once upon a time you couldn't get married as a same-sex couple, and now you can. In most places, if not all, I think. Is it everywhere? I'm so ignorant sometimes. I think it's everywhere. I think Obama did that, or at least many, many places, if not everywhere. But yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's some celebration of a union that was highly resisted, whether it be same sex or was it different sex? I don't know what the hell. You know, man and woman, woman and man, 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 woman, woman, whatever. Or even, like I said, beyond intimacy, it could be two very different energies that have found their way to one another, like say two creators that have decided to co-create or collaborate in some way, or two business owners or proprietors that may find maybe you do two different things, but you find that coming together, bringing your resources together, makes a bigger impact for the both of you and on whomever you serve as a customer or a community. Yeah, see what I'm saying? It's like it's so much with the Four of Wands. Let's just see what else we got. But it's definitely something celebratory and promising. It's promising for now, and it's also promising for the future. Ooh. Are we taking that? No. Ooh. Maybe I should have taken that with that Knight of Swords. Well, that says something though. So somebody was advancing in a very aggressive way, and it seems like they got stopped before they even reached the destination, or their intended, something's over. 10-10. Oh my gosh. What's this Page of Cups given to? Or what's this? Maybe that's the message. Condolences. Ooh. Damn, how we go from Four of Wands? Oh, someone was making a run, an advancement toward, or wants to. Either they have, or that's the ambition. We are still in the full moon energy, where people have been losing their minds with these mystical ambitions, just like literally risking it all for a chance to dominate in some way, shape, or form. But this is like Page of Cups. What's the Page of Cups? I heard condolences, and I don't usually hear that first. Oh yeah, look, that's like the preacher or the judge. I heard the coroner, the priest, the practitioner. So this is like word getting back either to or through, but it looks like it's coming to this Hierophant. I'm gonna go back one more. Wow. Yeah. I hope you can even see it. You will be able to see that, because usually I cut it off around there. But this is the Knight of Cups. Now, where is the Knight of Cups taking orders from or giving orders to? I can't tell. I feel like the Knight of something is, there's a reason why it's the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups. The message is about this Knight of Cups. That's the synergy. But I feel like the message is the message. It's the energy, the transmission. But it's in reference to perhaps this Knight of Cups, as I said, that was coming in the energy of the Knight of Swords, aggressive, ambitious, with some type of, I don't know, angry. But the thing is, the Knight of Cups here isn't angry, but the Knight of Cups can also be a finesser. So it could be that he is angry, but he just has a good way of concealing it. So I don't know if this is someone was given orders to make an advance or some type of attack against this stable foundation, whatever it may be, because this could represent so many things, as I've said. So it could be the matters of it could be the nature of orders that have been dispatched and dispelled through this moon cycle, as I said, where people have just been aggressively throwing anything out there, will see whatever sticks, and just kind of balls to the wall type of energy lately, most recently. And this is the return on that intention. Ten of Swords. And with the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands, something is really heavy here, because this is some betrayal. So it's like, yeah, it's like the organization, or I feel like this Hierophant is like two-faced. That's what I'm seeing here, because on one end he's getting a message here, but on the other end he's receiving an offer here. Yeah, he's like double fisting here. So it could be an energy that is working for both sides. Ooh. And then we all know that the Hierophant can be a judge. So this could be some legal, which has definitely come up for me with, I think it even did yesterday, where I was like, this Hierophant feels like a judge that can be trusted. But then in one instance, it was like, either he appears to be, as with the Knight of Cups, right? The finesser, or he was, but now has turned for the sake of ultimately saving, like say a corrupt judge or some corrupt official of sorts, or even a practitioner, a leader. Because I'll tell you something in a second that came up randomly for me, but some practitioner or leader that was working in the way of some established order that has either been like a whistleblower of sorts, or that has been feeding information. That's kind of like an informant, is basically. The Hierophant is the informant. Like they're on the inside of the operation, and whether or not they want to be, because maybe perhaps their back was up against the wall and they were targeted as, more or less to be the inside man, or, the snitch pretty much, or else, so it could be voluntary, that someone was willing to be like undercover to some degree in the operation, or that they had no choice but to be. But either way, it's forged some type of betrayal against whomever it is that was trusting them in some regard. So this could be actual, like someone coming to an actual demise, or it just could be a betrayal in such a sense that it puts a great burden with the Ten of Wands, like it brings something to an end, but only the beginning in this case, because consider if it's something legal, it's the end of the operation, but it's only the beginning of the repercussions, which is why the Ten of Pentacles would be here in this way. But let's see what else on the other side of the 10. So it could be the end of an establishment, because the other inflection that I get, as I said, the Four of Wands is loaded. Sometimes with the Four of Wands, it can be like the facade of a harmonious situation, like a couple that puts on the front of happy wife, happy life, nuclear family, power couple, whatever the case may be, but it's literally a front, so, but there's some betrayal here, either amongst the two or against the two. I'm not sure, but something has gone wrong here, or something is going awry. Yeah, here's the Four of Wands. The Four of Cups. Yeah, somebody's, to see, like, here's the Page of Cups, and it's like, somebody's story is not believable. That's what I'm getting from this. It's like their alibi doesn't check out, or their not their alibi, is it their alibi? Their It's just like their story. It's like, this is my story, I'm sticking to it. This person is like stubborn about it, but it's also in the same vein of rejection. Like, it's not flying, like, if this is a matter of the authorities gauging the truth or reliability of someone's story, it's not really working out. Yeah. I'm gonna take this here, because if I go too far, you won't be able to see if it's not already cut off. So we got somebody stressed, and this could even be jail with the 9 of, sometimes I see this card that way. Yeah, somebody, ooh, because you know what it is, and this has come up too, is that just as it is here, it's like usually this person has a way out of the pressure. He has connections, and he has maybe even influence, I would say, but it's more so connections, and what's the other word that I use a lot? And like access to higher establishments of power that might be a judge, or that might be some official, or just someone in a higher power of authority, maybe within some type of organization that they are a part of, is where they usually find protection. But it's like trying to get a phone call through to who you usually call, and they ain't answer, or the number you dialed has been temporarily disconnected type of vibes. Or you're saying, I throwing out names like, I know so and so or such and such. Ooh, that's weird. Ooh, I just got a real weird vibe. And they're like, who? Ooh, that would definitely put somebody in turmoil. Like, who's that? We don't have. Oh my gosh. Ooh, that's even ickier. I just got this vision. Oh, and I got chills too. I just got this vision. Usually only see stuff like this in movies, but of someone who thought they had some type of connection to some higher powered authorities or figureheads, And it's like, yeah, if you ever in a jam, just, tell them, say this name, and you'll, it's like a get out of jail free card type of energy. Yeah, like this is like the power card here with the Ace of Wands. Just say my name. It gets you out of any jam. Or people that have one of those, like if you get pulled over and you have one of those cards. I've never had one, but I know they used to exist, where you could give this card, and more or less, like if you didn't do anything too crazy, you probably get some lesser offense, if any at all, right? If you have a cop that's a family member or whatever. This is that energy here, but instead, when he's in this jam and he says, he tries to give the secret password, slide the card, the get out of jail free card, and they're like, who? We don't know anyone by that name. I've never heard of that person before. A judge was somebody that was acting like that. But how could you do that? How? I don't know if it could be a judge, even though I feel that so strong. That would be like the ultimate finesse. Like, talk about a finesser getting finessed. If I feel like it's more like a businessman or somebody that kind of presents themselves to just kind of be a mover and a shaker, but they're really like a con man. You know, like look at him all dressed up in the robes and stuff, bigging himself up. And it's like, yeah, I got you. Like, if anything happens, you're good, you're covered. And it's like, we don't have anyone here, we don't know any officials by that name. I've never heard of that name before. And then come to find out, they run the name, and it's like, you've been scammed, sir, because this man got like multiple aliases. Oh, why am I getting that vision? That is crazy. That's crazy. I'm lost in that, because it's like one of my favorite types of movies where, you know, the ending just blows your mind, like, oh snap, whole time he wasn't even real. You know, like that person didn't even exist. And you know where else that happened too, that I've seen most recently? I think I kind of posted some. If I didn't, I'll post it. I'll try to find a clip and post it, because it was like one of the most amazing parts of the story. That there was one of the rich kids, you know, he was one from I'm sorry, the series Gilded Age, the Gilded Age. The rich kid, I forget his name, Van Ryan's son, if you watch the series. The two sisters, it was the sister's son who was supposed to be the heir of the family legacy, you know, more or less, but he went and he was like an extreme finesser, like a Casanova who really was living a double life, because he secretly had a gay lover. Wow, this is funny. He secretly had a gay lover that wanted to be out. Well, back then you couldn't really be out, but he wanted to live in his truth. He wasn't afraid to, even if he had to conceal it, he wasn't trying to finesse women to be, you know, to be his beard, more or less. He was willing to just live a low-key life, but he wanted to be satisfied with living the truth. But this Van Ryan kid, who wasn't a kid, he was a grown man, but he hadn't taken over the legacy yet, until his mom was set to pass away, of course. And he was the opposite, like playboy. He was trying to finesse the richest girl in town. When that got shut down, he moved on to the next, because in his mind, he just needed a bigger fortune, more money, more access, more. Like, it wasn't enough that he was already a part of one of the richest families. He needed more to live the life that he wanted to live, right? So he was willing to live a lie to gain access to other heiresses that had more money than him, pretty much, or at least just as much, so it could be compounded. And in the end, he ended up getting connected with this, and that, I don't know how anybody could have seen this coming, because I surely didn't. He ended up getting connected with this so-called heiress who was supposed to be the secret love child of like Carnegie, or somebody that you would know in history, but she was supposed to be the secret love child of this big time tycoon. And so his eyes were set on her. The funny thing is, he actually began to fall in love with her, like low key, not really, like he took an interest in her. But what happened was she and I didn't even really pay attention to it, because how she was finessing him the whole time, it just seemed natural, but I guess that's what a true finesser does, right? But she was baiting him into this engagement about her business affairs, and this part of the company that her father kind of entrusted to her to run or be some player in some way, shape, or form. And she reeled him in, knowing that he was a banker, so he had expertise in this particular thing. But ultimately, long story short, she reeled him in he thought he was helping her. But when he got into the inner sanctum of this business connection, it was just between her and another man. They pretty much baited him to make an investment, right? Started with one investment, and then when he saw what the return was on the investment, it was the age-old, like, you know, hook, line, and sinker, where his eyes was bigger than his stomach, of course, and this was all so-called behind her back at that, so he was just doing double damage. And the guy that was presenting himself to be the business officer was acting like he was so uncomfortable with, because after he saw the first investment, he said, well, basically he saw an opportunity to make more if he would invest more money. So he pretty much like put up his entire inheritance, the whole family's inheritance, because he thought, well, shit, if I can make this on that, I can certainly make more on that. Now, he didn't tell her that he was doing this backhanded deal with this executor, and the executor acted like he was doing something that he wasn't comfortable with. But whole time, when it all hit the fan, and he thought he had the one up on, the business transaction, he went and told one of the main tycoons, who was like one of the richest men at that time, the one whose daughter he was initially trying to finesse. He's like, yeah, he's trying to be all, arrogant, like, I hope this doesn't cause a wedge between us now that I'm the primary stakeholder and blah, 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 like SunTrust, whatever it was called. And the man was like, what is that? And he was like, oh, da 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 da, whatever it was. And he was like, I assure you, sir, that I know every, big company that I would be in competition with, and I've never, ever heard of that company. So he goes running to the office of where he thought, the headquarters or the establishment of this business was, only to find it completely wiped out. No sign on the outside of the door, no sign of any life whatsoever within the office space, no desk, no furniture, no man, no nothing. And come to find out, it was all a scam. And the janitor was like, sir, you can't be in here. He's like, where is this company? And he's like, I don't know. Plenty of people rent offices in this building. Like, I don't know where they are. It was just like they vanished, like ghosted them. Now, serves him right to some degree, because he was shiesty anyway. He was doing so, he was courting the girl for his own purpose, his own self-aggrandizement or whatever that term is. And the side deal that he was making was also shady as well. So it's like nobody really can feel sorry for him. If anything, I felt sorry for the mom, because she's like, you pretty much bankrupted us. Thankfully, at the end, the sister got a big inheritance from the husband that had died, and she kind of saved the day. But the point of the matter is that the scammer got scammed. The scammer got scammed. He thought he had some great access to power here, and it was like the whole time he was just a mark. Damn, yeah, like this here's the energy right here. The fake ass relationship. Ooh, this is interesting. This is him being Don Juan or whomever. Like, this is like the Don Juan energy trying to finesse his way, because it looks like in this image, it's like she's smaller than him. So it could, like I said, it could have been a feminine energy that he was in partnership or in connection with, that he thought was the partnership, who was maybe the plug to this power surge right here. And when it all comes down to it, where is he but alone, having to face this trouble on his own, complete? And look where the betrayal lies, under the partnership. So this is like really like some codependent energy here in this case, where he thought it was a power move, thought it was a power couple vibe, and it wasn't. Oh man, this is wild. Jeez. What else we got here, Spirit? What's that? Whoop, that's the end of that. That's the end of that. That is the end of that. The connection itself, it's like either the connection has been the segue to this betrayal and the end of someone's ambitions, if not the entire operation, but certainly someone's ambitions. Because, like I said, it could be a matter of maybe this guy was doing the natural. That's what I'm hearing. It's like he was playing his part as he usually does, but maybe he got yoked up. And here's the power force here, like I said, back against the wall, where the lick he would typically hit and he was intended to hit turned out to become like almost a sting. So it's like they still were going about business as usual, but even still he becomes the mark, because what they're really trying to do is more or less bait even maybe perhaps this couple. That's probably what it is. Bait this couple into, or I don't know, but somebody's getting baited into some type of ambush or takedown or something, like I said. And it was like a setup type of situation. So it was still happening business as usual, fraud as usual, I should say. But somewhere, like I said, him double fisting, it's like he's feeding information maybe to two different sources, or whatever he's getting from here, he's feeding to some authority, or, like something fishy is literally with the page in the cup. It's something fishy going on here. Or something fishy happened where, it's like one of them movies where it's just like twist after twist after twist. You know what? I ain't gonna go into the details of this one, but I can't remember the name of it. I'm gonna try to look it up, but I think it was Kevin Bacon that was in that movie, and I think it was the girl from either Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer, one of those movies. But it was two girls, and it was guy. And who was the other girl? Not Brooke Shields. What's that girl's name? I can see her face. She's blonde. God, she's like one of those America's Sweetheart type of girls. Not Brooke Shields, though. I think she was too old. It was a younger one, but I can't think of her name. Hell, if I find that clip, I might post that too. But it was this movie where it was like two girls and a guy, and they were scammers or something in some regard. They had some type of hustle going on. It's been a long time since I've seen it. But what stood out to me in the end is that it was like, in the end, it was like three or four alternate endings, where it was like, first it was like, well, this guy was scamming for this. Then it showed how the girls were scamming him for this. But then it shows how the one girl was scamming the other one for this. And then it was like some other aspect too. It was like four different layers of surprise endings, where it was like, oh my, you thought it was never going to end. I know you know that movie, if you know what I'm talking about, but it's classic. It's a classic, but I can't think of the name. It was like that. It's like that type of energy here, where it's like layer upon layer upon layer, and it's all in universal order, because it's like, it's time for everybody to get their just desserts. So where he thought he was scamming with her, or she thought he was scamming with him, it's like he's probably feeding information on the both of them, and she's probably throwing him under the bus because she got some type of side deal going on with him. And then he thinks he's got the drop on everybody because he could just say this name and get out of jail free. So they might both be locked up, but he will be willing to leave her ass sitting there to rot. It's like, it's just like it's on and on and on. It's crazy. Wow, it's like a movie. Like a movie. The key component here is peep the endings, though. This is an end, this is over, and this is literally the end and a new beginning. And the temperance is like alchemizing it all, like, okay, you didn't want to take this cup of spirit, you didn't want to see the handwriting on the wall, you didn't want to, ultimately repent, is what I'm seeing with this refusal of the Four of Cups. It's like, nah, they didn't want to go the straight and narrow. They wanted to keep on, I said it in the regards of like somebody's requests being rejected, like they thought they had a way out, but they didn't. But this is even before that, like retrospectively, where he had opportunities to release himself from this collusion and he didn't. And this is what happens. This is for perhaps for all of them. It's like one more lick. Gotta hit that one more lick, one more spell, one more incantation, one more, one more fraud, one more stolen identity, one more insurance plot. Well, whatever it is that these people do, whatever they do, one more scam ultimately it's always that straw that broke the camel's back, because it can never be one more. It's never one more. This is like the backfire effect here with the Ace of Wands, like all that stored up energy that you expelled, now you having to face it. And it was supposed to be a cycle that should have been closed with the World here, looking back at the Six of Cups. It's like this isn't somebody's first rodeo, either in this lifetime or in past lifetimes, with fraudulent activity by way of partnerships. And with the Six of Cups, it could be through family exposure. It could be hooking up with the wrong associates. It could be hooking up with the wrong partner, literally, intimately so, or for the purposes of whatever, professional, and dare I say professional, prosperous endeavors there are. But it's like, so there were so many chances to change the fate, to do something different, to close that karmic cycle and start something new. To like, this was the opportunity, the one last time for it to be, to have this choice here with the Ace of Wands. Like, one more time you get to say yay or nay, like the guy in the Gilded Age. Like, if he wouldn't have been dragged into his own lust and greedy ambitions, he may have had better wits about him to kind of maybe fact check her origins, fact check her story, even though it was no internet back then. Like, maybe just asked around a little bit more and see, like, trace her roots. Maybe he would have figured it out before he squandered his family's entire legacy away, and that by that time she was long gone, nowhere to be found. So it's like people's own egos are their worst enemy. Their over ambitions, their obsessions with power, left down to what? Square one with the Page of Wands. All this stored up energy, all this access, true power, as a matter of fact, because you got to give credit where credit is due. Scammers be scamming, boy. They be thinking of some crazy stuff. Like, damn, how do you even wrap your mind around such a thing? If you would invest that energy and that passion into something that was organic and, that had long-lasting potential, imagine the results. So it's like wasted talent, wasted energy, wasted potential, because you got to come back down to square one, starting all over again, where it's like he's really on his own. Every power move he thought he had access to either has turned his back on him, which is quite possible that even if these connections were real or authentic, they not fucking with this. It's like, you on your own, buddy. I can't get caught up like that, and understandably so, wouldn't even be wise. Like, back turn, because the Queen of Wands is looking at something else entirely, and this could be that feminine energy that he's looking at now, like, yo, what's up? Like, thinking, well, clearly she got my back, if nothing else, that partner, as in with the Four of Wands, and she on to the next. Looking elsewhere. What's she looking at? I just gotta know. What's she looking at? Oh, that's way too much. Oh, fast communication. Yeah, look at this. Wow. She out of there. Or she talking. She's singing like a bird. Damn, that's what all this information is like. She giving up all the tape of who did what, when, where, why, it's like the illusion has been blown off of this partnership here to see it exactly for what it is. But it's worse because she's holding the power. So it's like if you got two people in interrogation and he might be sitting there refusing to talk, like, no, I'm gonna be he's gonna be loyal. I want to see my lawyer. Like, just scenarios. Ride with me for a second. Like, I'm not saying anything. Thinking that number one, that's protecting himself, but also if they both abstain from saying anything, then there's a better chance that they could see their way out of it, right? Oh, not her. She's fighting for her life. And like I said, she holds the power, so it's her perspective in play. Look how she's almost covered up in this picture, and like she'll be able to throw it all on him. Look at that. Look how that's exposed. Give up all the tape on all the accomplices, all of the associates, paint herself in the best picture, or cut a deal, that would ultimately absolve her of the full repercussions, if not any time at all, so maybe some type of immunity, and expose him for all to be damned, probably in ways that ain't even holistically true, like I said, because she's holding the power. So it's like, oh, look, that's him here with the Page of Wands, vulnerable. Like, this was all his idea. He's the mastermind. Ooh, damn! Look at all this talking she doing. She willing to give up, because the thing is, if she could put all of the accomplices in jail, even her so-called associates, that's less she has to watch her back out here in these streets. She has a higher potential of survival than to have to be ducking and diving, who's still out here, or those that know who she is. Now, like I said, she's on to the next scam. If this is how I say it is, and she's actually free, because she may not be either, but that's the anticipation. Yeah, look. Wow, look at this shit. This is wild. This is the anticipation. To still have some opportunity to escape this hardship. Yeah, to avert her karma, secretly position herself to be protected and from being exposed holistically. Because after she say what she gotta say, it's like, who gonna cut the deal first? Look, that's the deal. Who gonna cut the deal first? And the information that she has access to and is privy to may be far more valuable than what anyone else is willing or unwilling to say, because she's got much more, well, I should say much less to lose by blowing the whistle on everybody. And not to mention, she secretly probably was the least expected to play this position in that way. It's like the ending that I'm talking about. It's like she was secretly the least one that would be expected to just like completely expose the entire operation, because she had a stake in it too. But she's playing for higher stakes with the Wheel of Fortune. It's like she knows how to play all the cards, all the power moves. I'm gonna put all y'all asses in jail. Maybe I'll get a year or two, if that. If not, she may have, like I said, may have immunity with this high priestess. She may have found her way out of any time because she's so valuable to the case, giving up she don't have no loyalty to who? To herself and her own freedom. Damn. And the Queen of Wands, like, what? Oh my gosh. I'm a step. Oh, I already saw this. I was about to be excited again. What's this? Oh, Hangman. No way. That's what she looking at. How she can more or less hang somebody else or everybody else to dry and save herself. That's it. Wow. I mean, and also though, because let me get a few more at the bottom, because I never feel like, although this is an interesting ending for a movie or for a show, in this season, it's not that black and white, because I feel like another plot twist probably gets to be that the deal she thought she made or is going to make is not so ironclad either. And that she might find herself on the chopping block, like they'll find some other reason to pretty much like to what do you call it, to prosecute her, to implicate her in this as well. They just using her for all the information she's willing to give any damn way. But the law enforcement, they'll always find some other loophole to rope you into. Or she might, think that it'd be that, I don't know, it'd be like you think you out scot-free, and it's like somebody's son. I'm just making a whole movie here. Like somebody's son catch you outside, you know what I mean? Like you thought you got away, But people got family, people have friends, associates, loved ones, like, it ain't that simple. Exactly. Ooh, and it's in the struggle too. This is like, oof. That's like wounded warrior energy. Yet family. Do y'all see what's going on here? I'll keep it like this for all intents and purposes, but I could easily see that upside down. And this is someone that is crazy, deranged, unhinged, definitely not grounded. They're struggling with reality in this form. 9 of Wands. It's already a struggle on the upright, but then it's like somebody who cannot be, somebody that cannot be coaxed into, what's the right word, they can't be coaxed into reasonability. They can't be reasoned with, It's like they see it one way. If you catch them on that bad day, maybe every now and again, or maybe if they're under the influence or something like that, they're a little bit more subdued. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I feel that. But if you catch them on the wrong day, when they're particularly amped up about how they felt wronged in a situation, how they felt their family member was wronged, or they felt, this could be somebody that got out, on some technicality, and it wasn't intended for. So now it's like, ooh. So where you thought you was getting away with the bag, it's a madman on the loose. Yeah, just looking for an opportunity to snipe you. This is wild. One more or two, and then I'm out of here. Oh, that was almost the 5 of Cups. Yeah, somebody ain't laying down easy. They're not as easy to lay down as the others, perhaps. Ooh, Star card. I just heard key witness. Star witness. That's what she being. Singing like a goddamn bird. Let me move this over. But we already know what energy this is. I just want to be fair about it, but I just want one more on the side of this star. What's the energy of this Queen of Wands? Or it could be a witness that, well, like I said, it could see, now I'm hearing it as something different, but let me just get one more and see. Because it could be someone that just wasn't anticipated to be a witness. Yeah, and they here's the message, and it's valuable intel with the Page of Pentacles. It wasn't expected. So it could absolutely be what I said, where like there's a turncoat in this whole situation that she's willing to give up the tape on everybody, but it could also be someone that is upright that wasn't expected to have valuable information or intel with the Star card energy that nobody saw coming. And what they have to say is valuable because of the energy that they come in. Like there would be no reason to lie. You know what I mean? It's different from someone who's kind of implicated in all of it, but it's another thing from someone that may even be a victim or vulnerable to these acts, these egregious acts in some way, shape, or form, that wasn't anticipated to be the star witness, like with the Pentacles again, to be the one to really let it be known. Yeah. Wow. They didn't plan for that. Nobody planned for that with the Three of Pentacles. And all of they had every dotted, every T crossed and every I dotted, but nobody planned for someone in the nature of the Star that is trustworthy, is believable, is what's the right word? That is, there's a word I'm looking for. Not just trustworthy and believable, but there's something else that I want to say about that Star energy. Credible, that's the word. Credible altogether. Credible witness or credible testimony that not only maybe survived the BS, but that also was willing and able to speak on it or to share their experience in one way, shape, or form. That is the nail in the coffin. That brings it down for everybody. And maybe the energy here where it was like a struggle, maybe that was the intention for those that have been victimized, that would be able to live to tell the story, to be so imbalanced that they wouldn't be credible witnesses. They wouldn't, or they'd be too damaged, too wounded to either want to speak up or to even, again, be credible or believable. And the Ten of Pentacles is giving me that there are quite a few folks out there that could speak up on it. Quite a few victims, surviving victims, that could speak on it, but not many are willing to, or not many have had the courage to, or not, maybe some don't even know that they've been victimized. How about that with the Ten of Pentacles? Because remember, I was talking a lot about scamming and fraud. And these folks, they thought it was up for them to pull one more ritual in this full moon, or maybe from the last new moon, which was a definite no. That was a poor mistake. But the harvesting was perhaps supposed to come on account. Maybe they harvested on the new moon, and they were supposed to close the casket on some things in this full moon, and it's like that energy backfired quick. Caskets are being closed on them. And maybe not physically, but certainly energetically. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, because people are blocked from the bullshit now. There is no entry, access denied. What's that? Look, but they still look. There it is. Still looking for a way in. But ultimately, what are they leading themselves to? Yet another crash out. Access denied. Trying to find their way through the inevitable demise of these diabolical plots. And that's all it is, fairly. It's not like anything unjustified is happening here. There are no victims on account of these perpetrators, that's for sure. They're only receiving back what they've been given. Well, even if they've been finessed within their own circles, it's all been fair game. Look what's in the middle. Temperance. That's spiritual justice right there. Balance. Harmony. True harmony. Damn, this was so interesting. All right, I'm done. I'm going to leave it there. But certainly if you're moving in the upright and you're, maintaining strong boundaries against foolishness, and sometimes foolishness don't always look like foolishness, but at this point in time, I would imagine that if you resonate with this at all, you know what looks and feels like foolishness. To just keep your guards up, especially through the rest of this intense transit, and be unapologetic about it. Don't worry, don't try to flex, and don't give in to the ego of wanting people to know that or what you feel, or that you on to them or whatever. Like, I'm giving the message as the message, I'm just calling it like I see it. But in the end, it's no flexing over here. I'm just living my life honestly and with integrity. And I definitely suggest that you continue to do the same. Like, focus on what is bringing you joy and peace, more passion with this Leo new moon. It's waning now, but it's still quite effective, especially with the aspect of Pluto and Jupiter in the mix. Focus on you and what's bringing you joy and peace and fun, and what tantalizes your senses in a very pure way. Let this stuff play out as it will, because it already is. Whether folks realize it or not, is really none of your concern in the grand scheme of things. Because justice, especially spiritual justice, will always be served on a silver platter. Okay, so happy Friday to you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend safely, soundly. Just be mindful where you're going, who you're going with, how you're feeling when you get there, and all of that good stuff. But enjoy yourself. You have earned that right to enjoy yourself. All right. And anybody that's not in celebration of you, with you, can be released to the light to find their own satisfaction with no remorse or apologies about it. All right, so again, have a wonderful weekend. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.